I'm Pat Mayo with your 2021 Scottish Open DraftKings picks. Now, normally I don't cover the European Tour, all that in depth. But, I like to hit a piece here and there. I was big on the Irish Open last week, but this Scottish Open is the legit tournament of the week. The John Deere Classic has like one good player in it. The Scottish Open, that's where everyone's at. You got Rahm and Morikawa and Rory and Xander, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Tyrrell Hatton, Tommy Fleetwood, Will Zalatoris is in this field, as is Corey Connors, Ryan Palmer, Billy Horschel, and your regular run-of-the-mill high-end European Tour regulars. So this is the one you want to be focusing on this week. And I look at the very top end, and I see Justin Thomas at $10,300, and you could make the argument that, Rahm's coming off a major championship win, and thus he's the most expensive player. But Justin Thomas is where you want to be at this price point, and even in the betting market at 20-1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. It is just a superb value for him, being behind Xander, slightly ahead of Scheffler. No, this is Justin Thomas we're talking about. And looking back at the past 2 years at the Renaissance Club in Scotland, you're going to want someone who hits their irons really well, can scramble a bit, and make some putts. The putting is a bit problematic for Thomas, but if it's about scrambling and irons, that's the bread and butter for Justin Thomas. I think he is a supreme value this week at $10,300. In the $9,000 range, you have a few options, but it does seem like Tyrrell Hatton is a bit underpriced at $9,400. We know his prowess on links. That is undisputed based on his European Tour record on links layouts over time. He's been immaculate in Scotland over the years at the Alfred Dunhill, and you're getting a pretty good price at $9,400. That's $100 more than Christian Bezuidenhout, who's a good player, but not nearly in the same stratosphere as Tyrrell Hatton. He's behind Will Zalatoris in terms of DraftKings pricing. So JT and Hatton, that's where you want to start your teams, at least in my mind. Then we keep dropping down the list. You have a nice little collection of players in the $8,000 range. You have Wallace and Poulter and Horschel and my guy Guido. Brendan Grace is also in there, but I think the one that stands above the rest is Martin Keimer, playing some good golf, made 3 consecutive cuts, coming in, needs to get his spot in the Open Championship with a stellar performance this week. He's $8,400, and you can putt from off the greens here, so he's going to be doing that a lot because the guy cannot chip to save his life. And if he does qualify for the Open Championship, watch out, because the game is trending upwards at exactly the right time for a guy who doesn't have a win overall worldwide since the 2014 U.S. Open. This is a 2-time major winner we're talking about right now, and if he can get a win here, perform well in the Open Championship, he could see himself on this Ryder Cup squad as a veteran presence. He's a vice captain already, but he could play his way onto the team. In the $7,000 range, you got a lot of big names like Thomas Pieters and Lee Westwood and Francesco Molinari, Aaron Rosner, Richard Bland and Aaron Rai, both very solid British names that you can look at, but I like Jason Scrivener at $7,500. Was immaculate tee to green last week at the Irish, just couldn't make a putt, which is pretty par for the course with a lot of these guys I'm going to be talking about here in a second. Adrian Otaegui is also $7,500. Those would be the two guys I would go to in the mid-sevens. Then when we keep dropping down the list, you're going to see Sean Crocker at $7,100, another player who's awesome tee to green, just needs to make a few putts, but he's been playing very well over on the European Tour so far this season, and especially lately, so I'm going to give him a look as well. Then we just keep dropping down the list. Then you see at $6,700, Maverick Antcliffe, one of the best iron players legit in the world. That's about all he can do. He's kind of like Michael Neesmith on the PGA Tour. But at $6,700, you're looking to round out your lineup. My guy, the Aussie, Mav Antcliffe, is the way you want to go. Don't be afraid to throw a shekel at 250 to 1 on old Mav either. Maybe a first-round leader, maybe a top 20 bet as well. He has the sort of game that will play really well at the Renaissance Club in Scotland this week. I'm Pat Mayo for a full field breakdown and the John Deere Classic picks. Check out the Mayo Media Network YouTube channel right now.